Hello everyone. Today's video is a recap of all the videos I did in 2025. I started this channel back in March of this year. The following clips are from the very first video that I posted on this channel. Enjoy. I'm on the Kroom A Trail today. Beautiful day for a hike. 75 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Should be getting 11 miles out of this hike today. Starting out at 1:45. Hard to tell on camera, but somebody's made a peace sign out here out of pine cones. Looks pretty cool. I'm 4 miles in. I just climbed to the top of Sugar Mountain. Not bad for a Florida hike. 6.2 miles in, I made it to the West campground. I'm gonna go check that out. Very nice campground. Looks like it's both hammock and tent safe. Got 2 benches by the fire pit. Somebody left some firewood. Plenty of trees to hang from if you're a hammock camper. Hey buddy. Hello everyone. Today we're camping at Gator Hole in the Green Swamp. We'll be hammock camping. I'll be in my AMOC, a Dramar 5.0. Should be a pretty good day. Well, after they got to the campsite, I went and I walked around, and this is what I found. Well, you can't camp at Gator Hole without running into a gator. So according to the far out map, there's another little campsite just a little bit north of here. I'm gonna go explore and see what that campsite's all about. I might be able to use that one if Gator Hole is reserved. Well, this is the campsite. Not very hammock friendly, but we can make it work. Got a little half picnic table. Looks like a good place to watch the sunset.
Good morning, everyone. Slept pretty good last night. Heard some coyotes pretty loud. They must have been pretty close to the campground. Other than that, it's pretty quiet. Guess it's time to get up, make some breakfast.
Well, another successful camp at Gator Hole. Hello everyone, welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. This weekend we're at Holder Mine. We'll be here for a couple days and plan on doing a little bit of hiking. Should be some good weather. Good morning everyone. It's Saturday morning. Just starting out a hike from Holder Mine to Inverness. I'm not sure what the mileage is going to be. It's going to be an out and back. We'll see what it looks like when the sun comes up. I'm 3.5 miles from the Holder Mine where I started, and the woods out here are absolutely beautiful. There's nothing like watching the sunset from the trail. I'm starting to hear traffic from Highway 44, so I'm not quite sure how much farther I got to go. Enjoying the hike though. Well, I made it to the end of the Florida Trail, northern side of Citrus, and it takes me out to Pleasant Grove Road. 4.7 miles, headed back. Well, almost back to camp. Got 9.5 miles this morning. That's a pretty good hike. Now it's time for breakfast.
Breakfast!
dinner time.
Good morning, everyone. This is what we woke up to. No hiking today.
Well, the rain put an end to our camping trip. We packed up and headed home. Unfortunately, when you pack up in the rain, when you get home, you gotta open everything back out and let it dry. It's okay though, we still had fun. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today we're at Anclote River Park. We're about to embark on a kayak camping trip to Anclote Key. Enjoy the trip. We're headed for the north end of the island. We're going to swing around and go onto the Gulf side and head south and look for a good place to hang our hammocks. It's a little warm out here this morning already. There's no wind blowing, but the water's like glass. Well, we got camp set up and we're fixing to cook some hamburgers. And here's our camp. Set up a sun shelter. The view from our kitchen. I just saw a big raccoon. They warned us about the raccoons here. They said not only will they get with your food, they'll steal your water too. They'll steal your water bottles. I guess there's no fresh water on this island, so if it's not raining, they're scavenging. One of the good things about camping here, once all the day use people leave, you got the whole place to yourself. Your own private beach. Yep, the only thing I'm missing is an ice cold beer.
Well, finally made it in the hammock. Had a pretty good day. Had to ward off some raccoons. They were trying to raid the campsite before we even went to sleep. We got in our hammocks. Pretty aggressive here. Well, I'll see you in the morning. Morning, everyone. This is the view from the hammock. Slept pretty good last night listening to the waves crash. The wind finally died down. That wind got pretty bad last night. Time to get out, start breakfast, and get packed up.
So we're all packed up and launched the kayaks and we're on our way back to shore. We just took a little shortcut and portaged our kayaks across the island. Got a little bit off of the trip on the way back. I was talking to the guy that was camping down the island with us, and he said his campsite got raided by raccoons as well. They're very, very persistent. But we're on our way back. Probably about 3 mile, 2.5 mile kayak. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today we're going to be hiking from River Junction to Hog Island. Enjoy the hike. It's been a pretty rainy morning, but I'm not going to let that stop me. Should be like a little bit under 14-mile hike today. 7 miles. We'll be starting at River Junction and working our way to Hog Island. I was supposed to do this hike yesterday, but I've been dealing with a toe issue. I wanted to give it an extra day to heal, so it's probably a good thing because the rain cooled it down some, so it'll be a cooler hike today, at least until the sun comes back out. I started out with 4 liters of water, at 3 in my bladder, and just a little bit under a liter in a bottle. I noticed one thing about filming these hikes. I'm seeing a lot more stuff that I would normally just storm on by, trying to keep a pace. I've been seeing a lot of neat stuff. Another roadblock. This one might be a little trickier to get around. Let's see. Looks like people have been going around this way. One thing's for sure, I'm definitely gonna have to check for ticks when I get back. Maybe the rain washed them away. A little squirrel. This is Iron Bridge in Croom. Recreational area. People can launch their kayaks and fish and have picnics or whatever you want to do. That railroad bed that we crossed, this would have went over this river right here. That's why they call it Iron Bridge. You can still see remnants of the bridge. Normally this area I'm standing in is underwater. The river is really low right now. The rain must have scared everybody off because there ain't a whole lot of people here this morning. Just a couple people fishing and some guys just dropped off his boat. Well, that was nice. I'm glad there wasn't a whole lot of people there. I could get some good footage of the park. But back on trail. There's some huge oak trees out here. It's gotten absolutely beautiful out here since Iron Bridge. Ever since Iron Bridge, the trail has been parallel on the river. Every once in a while I see a little break in the cypress trees. I can see the river. It's probably maybe 100 yards away from the trail. I've kayaked Wiffukuchi from Silver Lake to Hog Island before. It's a pretty nice kayak. Very curvy river. But the state that the river's in right now, being so low, it'd probably be pretty challenging to kayak it. You're definitely not going to get a powerboat down it. I saw this and I just had to go off trail and take a look at it. It's pretty. All the duckweed on the water. Made it to Hog Island. It ended up being like 7.3 miles from River Junction. But I stopped and went off trail a few times exploring. But I'm gonna hang out here for a little while and then head back. I like to take this time to thank everybody that watches my videos. I do this basically as an online journal of my adventures, everything I do out in the woods. But I like to share it as well. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. It helps me out. It helps the channel grow. And like the videos. Comment on the videos. It helps. I appreciate everyone. Enjoy the rest of the video. All right, break time's over. Time to head back. While I was sitting there, I picked several ticks off of me. I sprayed down with bug spray again. I'm gonna have to check myself really good when I get home. It's the season. We're back to the railroad bed. Let's walk down the end of this thing and see what it looks like at the end. This is where the train would have crossed. This is the old pillars for the bridge. Went straight across. Must have been something back then to build a bridge that would handle the weight of a train that far across the river with what they had to build it with. Pretty amazing. I'm a little over 12 miles into the hike, so I got about 2 or 3 more miles to go. I'll be ready to get in that Jeep too. I'm hungry. All I've had to eat today is a banana and a Cliff Bar. That wasn't very smart. That's one way to lose weight. Shortly after I said that, I walked right by the trail. Bonus miles. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. Maybe a half mile the wrong way. I'm back to that noisy interstate again. That means I'm almost to the Jeep. It's getting hot out here. I brought 4 liters of water with me on this trip, thinking I was bringing way too much water. I just drank the last of the 4 liters. I still got like a half mile to go, so it's not that bad. But yes, it drink a lot more water when it's hot. You just don't realize it. I'm at 14 and a half miles now, and I haven't crossed one hiker yet. Nobody's hiking today. Not this trail anyway. I think the rain scared everybody off. It almost scared me off. I'm glad I went though. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursion. Today we're at Colt Creek State Park on the Yellow Trail, which is like a 5.5 mile loop. Enjoy the hike. I parked at the south parking lot. I'm going to go ahead and try to do the yellow loop, see how far I can get on that before the rain starts. Talking to the ranger as I was coming in, he said that it's pretty dry out here, so this rain's going to help out quite a bit. I just hope it holds off for at least a couple hours so I can get this hike in. there, friend. There's some heavy rain headed this direction, so probably in the next 2 hours. So I'm hoping I can get this hike in before it gets here. Otherwise, I'm gonna get a little wet. Won't be the first time though. There's a gator right up underneath the water there. I don't know if it shows up on camera. Maybe he'll pop up. Now the trail turns away from the Gator Creek. Now we'll see what else this trail has in store for us. So far the trail's been pretty wide and well maintained. I'm not sure if it's going to get any tighter than this or if the whole trail is like this, but it's nice. Probably be a pretty hot hike on a summer day when the sun's out, because you're not in a lot of shade. At just about every intersection they have one of these, and it has a number on it. The ranger gave me a hiking map when I went in the gate, and the hiking map has all the numbered spots, so you know right exactly where you're at with the number that's on the map. Very well marked. Oh, and it is so tempting to set my hammock up on this tree. Well, that was fun, but I'm probably going to pay for that little escapade. It's starting to rain. Have to look into this a little bit. I really like that little campsite there. It's probably a youth camp. Well, it was a light rain and it didn't last very long, but I just looked at the weather map and there's a big glob of heavy stuff. Looks like it's going to be here within a half hour. So I picked up the pace. See if I can get back to the car before that rain gets me. If not, I won't need a shower tonight, will I? You still here? Lazy thing. He has changed direction. This is where I parked. Only one here. Pretty popular place today. All the smart people are inside. There we go. A gator right there. And there's one over here coming right at us. Yep, and there's one right there. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today we're doing a stealth camp at a local county park. I'll be in the hammock and it's supposed to rain tonight, so things might get interesting. Enjoy the video. Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning and I'm out here at the local park scouting it out to see if it's possible to do a stealth camp here. Right now there's absolutely nobody out here, so no prying eyes. But I think this is doable. Squirrel! I even have restrooms and a water source. Okay, that corner is not going to work. For some reason, I thought there was more trees in that corner, but there's only one pine tree. Can't hang from one tree unless I bring my stand out, but I don't want to go through all that. I want to be able to pick up fast and get out. Well, so far, these two trees right here, alongside the baseball field, that might work, and I don't think you can see past the dugouts and everything from the road, the parking lot. So all right, then, I got my spot picked out. I just got to see how things play out tonight. I would like to get stuff set up before it gets dark, but I don't know how long people stay at the park. The park's open till 10, but my guess is they're going to close the gates when it gets dark. I think the only reason they say it's open till 10 is because of the ball games. I know they have those at night, but we'll see how it plays out. All right, it's on. Headed to the park. It's almost 7 o'clock and it's starting to cloud up. I might get some rain here maybe in the next hour or so. So I want to get set up before it rains. We'll see how it goes. I'd like to get my dinner cooked before it gets dark, but I don't know if this coming rain is going to let me do that. If not, there's covered areas that I can do it, and I have a headlamp. I can rough it. I'd rather cook dinner in the dark than set up camp in the dark. Something I just got to thinking about. I wonder if they're going to come and take this flag down before dark. I don't see any lights on it except this light right here. Oh yeah, there's a light right there. So they'll leave the flag up. All right, we're here. Gonna set up right here. I think I'm gonna hold off for a little bit. I might get the straps up, but I'm gonna hold off and see if anybody shows up. There's still an hour and a half of daylight. Somebody just pulled up in a red car, probably gonna walk the track, so I'm gonna hold off for a little bit. It's rumbling to the south of here, so I'm gonna keep a close eye on that weather. It's like playing chess. Well, I started cooking my dinner over there at the picnic table, but rain is real close, so I moved everything into the dugout here. So I'm cooking my dinner in the dugout. I was hoping I could get set up before the rain, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, unfortunately. Oh well, not the first time, won't be the last. Well, it looked like it was going to rain any minute, so I moved everything into the dugout, and I cooked dinner in the dugout. I can knock that off my bucket list now. Got dinner made, and it doesn't, I don't know what the weather's going to do. This is Florida, so it's hard telling. It could not rain. I hope it does rain, but I would wish it would wait until after I get the hammock and the tarp set up. Then it can rain all night. I don't care. That'll cool it down. But there's a guy at the basketball courts. He's been there for probably, well, the entire time I've been cooking. And he's got a clear sight of view where I'm going to be hanging the hammock up. So I can't do anything until he leaves. Once he leaves, it's game on. But all in all, this is pretty fun, actually. It's I've always seen videos of people doing these stealth camps. It's just fun as it looks, I can guarantee you. Just as I said that about the rain, loud crack of thunder and lightning. So back to the dugout I am. The weather has benched me. Okay, it's raining now, and there's two kids over in the playground playing while the lightning's cracking. I don't see any cars in the parking lot, so they must be locals. Somebody that walked or rode their bikes in. I think I'm going to come up with a plan B. I think this dugout is going to have a hammock hanging in it before the night's over with. I'm thinking if I hang from here and then over to this cross right here, that's plenty of distance, and I won't have to set my tarp up. I'm underneath the dugout, out of the weather. I think I'm going to do that. Well, that's home for the night, and it's about to storm. Never thought I'd ever say I was going to be camping in a dugout. Well, I'm all set up. It hasn't rained yet. I mean, it sprinkled a little bit, but there's been some ugly lightning hitting around here. The wind's starting to pick up, so I'm sure we're probably going to get some rain. But I should be all right. I'm in the dugout, and this worked out pretty good. I think I like this better than hanging from the trees and putting my tarp up. That's one less thing I have to deal with in the morning. So I'm gonna mix me a drink, a cocktail, and maybe I'll get to watch some rain. I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about anybody coming and visiting me. I think this rain has pretty much chased everybody away, or threat of rain anyway. So we'll see. It's been fun so far. Alright, that really cool setup I had to tear it down real fast. The wind is blowing from the south, and of course it was blowing right into my hammock. My hammock was starting to get wet, so I had to pull it down real quick. I got a break in the rain, so I run over here to the bathroom with all my stuff. So it's raining up the back side of this bathroom, so this is protecting me until this storm blows through. Then I'll go set it back up. But it's gonna be an interesting night, that I can tell you. Still fun though. Well, that was a wise decision to bail. It's this whole dugout is soaked. It rained sideways in here. So I got the hammock down in time and stuffed it in my backpack and ran over to the bathroom. There's an overhang on the bathroom. I just hung out there until it quit raining. So I'm gonna go ahead and set back up, and hopefully it looks like the weather map. According to the weather map, everything's good. So won't have to do this again. But it was fun though. All right, weather calmed down around here. I'm in the hammock, getting ready to get some sleep. I need to be out of here. I need to be packed up before 7 o'clock, so that's when they open back up. But yeah, it was got wild there for a little bit, but everything calmed down and it was a lot of fun. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It's a little bit after 6 and just got out of the hammock. Slept pretty good last night. That rain cooled it down some. Didn't have any events happen last night. It was pretty quiet. I was the only one in the campground. So I'm gonna go ahead and start picking up. The gates open at 7, so I'll just sneak my way out of here. All right, all packed up. It's like 6:30 right now. See if I can get out of here early. I don't know if they open the gate right at 7. We'll see. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today we're at Hillsborough River State Park. We're gonna hike some trails. Enjoy the hike. Good morning, everyone. Today we're gonna explore the hiking trails at Hillsborough River State Park. I've never been here before, so we'll be discovering it together. So far, it's a pretty nice place. This must be a loop. I'm going to go this way. Well, that was pretty beautiful, and it wasn't very far from the car either. Very easy hike, wide trails. It's almost like a sidewalk, these trails. One of the closed areas. There must be damage on the boardwalk. This thing is huge, and it looks like it's partially rotten, but it's still alive. Now, this trail came out to a very nice picnic area. Nice and shaded. The picnic tables have little coverings over them. Most of them do. Pretty nice. A pretty cool water fountain. Now, this is a cool little picnic area here. Got a barbecue grill. It looks like a fireplace. And they have a kayak launch to go downriver. I'm definitely going to have to come back and bring the kayaks. Got a resident alligator sitting right at the end of the kayak launch. It's alright, buddy. I'm not going to do anything to you. That disrupted his nap. It's funny, there's a pavilion right by the kayak launch. They named it appropriately. Now, this is another kayak launch. Let's see if we can find another gator. Very nice. Definitely bringing my kayak next time and explore this river. Well, I've done all the trails that I can do here. I can't get to the other side of the river to do the loop over there, so I'll have to come back and do that one. I'm gonna go back to the rapid section and hang out there for a little bit. Then I think I'll go and check out the campground. Pick out some campsites. One last look at the rapids. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today I'm back at Croom and I'm doing the River Trail Loop. It's about a little under a 4-mile loop. and it's a good hike to get out and just get a quick one in. Enjoy the hike. This trail starts at the Ridge Manor trailhead for the bicycle trail, the rails of the trails, and it's just a little under 4 miles if you do the loop. Half of this loop incorporates the Florida Trail. We'll start out on a blue trail until we get to the Florida Trail. The Florida Trail will actually go alongside the river. It's a pretty nice hike. It's pretty quiet out here this morning. I've already seen one deer. He ran off before I can get him on camera. I'm sure I'll probably come across some more. There's some beautiful oak trees out here. And I don't know if it shows up on camera or not, but you can see the water line from how deep the water was out here when it flooded this summer, or last summer. One thing about being the first person on trail is that you get to be the one that clears all the spider webs for everybody else behind you. This trail will now run alongside the river for about a mile or so, and it's really nice. You get to view the river several places on the trail. I don't know what the history is of this property, but it must have had cattle on it at one time. There's remnants of a fence, I guess, to keep the cattle from going down the bank of the river. Barbed wire. One thing you definitely have to do when you're hiking in the summer, especially here in Florida, is check yourself for ticks. Is just about every hike I do, especially if you're going off trail. Every hike I do, I'm picking one or two off of me. You don't want to keep them on you, that's for sure. This is my favorite part of this hike. It's a little rapid section, and it's a great place to eat lunch. I've ate here several times on the way to Crooked River. It even has a nice natural bench to sit on and enjoy the view. I've sat there many times and ate lunch. We're headed away from the river now, and we'll be going back to the parking lot, but the rest of the trail, even though we're not alongside the river, is still amazing. There's a lot of wildlife and a lot of cypress and swamp areas. Wild Pig Waller. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today I'm out at Richland on the Low Water Trail just off of the Florida Trail. Enjoy the hike. Well, it's a steamy morning out here at Richland. I've already got my feet wet, not even a quarter of a mile in. Should be an interesting hike. This trail detours off of the Florida Trail and takes you alongside the river. It's a beautiful walk. I don't think I've ever stayed on the trail, on the Florida Trail. I always take this. And I had to stop and put some bug spray on. The mosquitoes are ferocious out here. All the standing water. The last several times I've hiked this, it's been bone dry out here, so it's kind of weird to see all the water. But we have had a lot of rain here lately. Well, it looks like there's no avoiding this one. Gonna have to do some tromping through the water. Okay, the scenic low water river trail ends here. If I go this direction, it'll take me on one of the blue loops into the Richland, and then the Florida Trail continues on here. I think I'm going to go ahead and continue on the Florida Trail for a little ways southbound, Sobo. Welcome to Devil's Creek. That was probably an alligator we just missed. Water's flowing pretty good through here. They just built this bridge a couple years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago. And before they did that, you had to walk through this to continue on the Florida Trail. It's a very nice bridge. I believe that sign has been up there for a few years. It looks like the tree's trying to chomp it. This right here is probably the most popular tree on this section of the hike. It is really neat. You hike right underneath it. I've seen so many pictures of this. I think everybody that comes by here takes a picture of it. And there you got the old boundary fence. Back to the river. We're getting really close to High Bluff. I can hear it. It's rewards like this that gets me out here in the woods. This is beautiful. It's so tempting to get in there and go for a swim. Well, we made it to High Bluff campsite. This isn't actually the campsite by the river. There's a trail that goes off to the left. It goes up to the top of the hill. It's not very long. I'll take you up there and show you the campsite. Well, this is High Bluff campsite. Used to have 2 picnic tables here. One is smashed up over there now. Got a nice clearing for a tent. I see a couple, about 2 or 3 hammock hanging opportunities here, so this is hammock friendly. Picnic table, and you have a water source about 0.1 mile away. Haven't stayed here yet, but I probably will this coming winter. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today we're back on the Florida Trail at a place called Chinzagut Wildlife Trail. It's in Brooksville, Florida, and I've never been here before, so I'm taking you along for the adventure. Enjoy the hike. Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful morning. We got a good rain last night, and it's not too hot. It's gonna be a good hike. There's a little spur trail. I'm gonna check this out. Looks like there's some water down here. Got another spur trail. Go check this out. Nice picnic table in the shade. We're at a fork in the trail. We go this way, we continue back on to the Florida Trail, heading north. Or if we go this way, we're on the Florida Trail going south. This is the way we're going to go. I'm not in for a road walk today. I know one thing, I'm glad that we're in the shade now because the sun has risen and it is getting hot. Got a picnic table in the shade and a boardwalk. Nice little screened in area here. It's got picnic tables. I haven't seen any gators, but I am hearing them. They're croaking out there. This is very nice. All right, time to get back on trail. Nice little break there. This looks all new. Pretty nice. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today I'm in Sanford, Florida at Big Bear Wilderness area, and it's raining. Enjoy the hike. Good morning, everyone. Glad you can join me on the hike. Looks like it's going to be a good one. It's 75 degrees, and I can't believe how quiet it is out here. Seems how just 10 minutes ago I was in a lot of traffic, a lot of noise. Beautiful out here. When I got here, there was about 5 or 6 cars in the parking lot, and they all took off before I did. But I think they went took the other direction on the loop. I took a left, gonna take it clockwise. Coming up on another boardwalk. This trail has quite a bit of these. I think if it didn't, you'd be getting your feet wet a little bit. This one goes over a little creek. Definitely signs of them. Open area, must be a floodplain for the St. Johns River. It's starting to rain. Huh. Well, here's the primitive campground. We're about halfway on the trail. I think we're right at 4 miles. A little over half. And got a nice little picnic table. There's a covered picnic table over there. See some flat areas to put your tent and all kinds of trees to hang from. I can see this in my future. This is a hammock hanger's paradise right here. These boardwalks are pretty slippery when they're wet. Definitely slippery out here in this rain. I'm glad I wore my cleats. Got one right in the trail there. Well, that was cool. That hog wasn't even paying me any attention. Must have been some good stuff. This is the St. Johns River. Looks pretty nice. That's a cool tree. I gotta say, this is a really neat trail. Definitely shows you old Florida. Look at that. That's how sticky that mud is. It's no wonder I'm slipping and sliding all over the place. I'm walking on a layer of mud with the shoes. Okay, time to add a little drama to this hike. I've been hearing rumbling here, so I just took my phone, I pulled up the weather site, and there's some nasty weather coming this way. I've got about a mile to go to get back to the car, so I need to book it. So let's see if I can beat the weather. And it is coming down. I'm a quarter mile from the car and I'm soaking wet. But having a blast. This rain feels good actually. I'm just kind of concerned about the lightning. So, let's see if I can get it back. If you're watching this, I made it. Looks like I got a lake to walk through to get to the car. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today we're in White Springs, Florida, hiking along the Swanee River, and we're headed to Big Shoals. Come on along and enjoy the hike. Hello everyone. Nice day for a hike on the Swanee River. I'm up here in White Springs. Today we're going southbound on the Florida Trail, and we're going to hike to the campground just beyond the rapids. It's going to be a short hike today, but a beautiful one. We're starting the hike around pretty close to 3:30, and there was only one car at the parking lot when we got here. And you can see that current's moving pretty good, and it's foamed up from the rapids upstream. Nice little waterfall. A nice bridge built recently to go over Robbins Creek. We're back to the Swanee River. At this cool looking pine tree we get to go underneath. That is pretty neat. I never seen a pine tree grow roots like that before. It thinks it's a cypress tree. That current's moving pretty good. There's the rapids. We're getting closer. Absolutely beautiful. Hard to believe this is in Florida. Yeah, this is awesome. Well worth the hike. It was only an hour, a mile and a half in here from the trailhead. And here's the campsite that, with that view right there. Listening to that all night. Hello everyone. Today I'm on the Florida Trail, currently on a short road walk, headed to Cypress Creek, or Cypress Lake Preserve, and I'll be hiking roughly 7 miles to Crooked River Campground and spending the night. This road I'm hiking beside is pretty busy today, so I'll be glad when I get back on the trail, which is right up the road here. It's not very far. I had some things I had to do this morning, so I'm starting this hike out a little late. Started a little after 1 o'clock. Should be about a 2.5 hour hike. Maybe a little bit more, depending on how much stopping I do for filming. This will be my first backpacking trip on the channel, so I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be 14 miles round trip. 7 miles to Crooked River, where I'm going to set up the hammock and camp there and cook a steak on the fire and hike back in the morning. Should have some good weather for it tonight. It's supposed to get down to 69. I've been looking forward to this weather since March. So should be a good trip. Still in water underneath the bridge. I thought for sure it would be a little bit. Still kind of low. It's a busy road. I sure am glad I'm in between these two walls. Whew. It's hot out here in the sun. Gotta get back in the shade. The Florida Trail goes about a quarter mile alongside 50, and then I'll take a right up here at this next road, and it'll bring me back into the woods, and then I'll be in Croom. And I'll take the river trail on around, and that'll take me to Crooked River. So you can just climb over this, and it gets you into Croom. Be very careful with the barbed wire there. They left barbed wire on this. I don't know why the hell they did that. But, and it's rusty too. Woo, back in the shade. It's nice in the shade, but getting out in that sun, it's hot. I think it's in the mid 80s right now. It's not as sticky today. There's not as much humidity, but in that sun, it got me to sweating. All right, we're to the intersection of the river trail. I'm gonna make a right here. That'll keep us on the Florida Trail. I'm 3.5 miles into the hike. That's pretty much halfway. There's a little rapid section up here on the river. I usually stop there, take a break. I think I'm gonna do that. I need to get back into shape. Hauling an extra 30 pounds on your back, it makes a difference. Well, time to get back on trail. Gotta get to the camp. Got about 3 miles to go. We come to an intersection. If you take a right on the trail, it takes you on the loop I told you about earlier, on the river trail loop, which is a blue trail. This will loop back around to the parking lot where the bike trail is. We're going to continue going north on the Florida Trail. Have a nice look out here over the river with a bench. Dog agrees. And then this cool little metal bridge that I've never seen water underneath. You want to make sure you go the right way on this one. This will take us out of the tree farm and back into the woods a little bit. We're still alongside the river. I'm glad to be in the shade. This is another pretty cool tree along the trail. There's some beautiful oaks in this section of the trail. There's another one right up ahead. If that wasn't over the trail, that'd be an awesome place to hang the hammock on one branch. There's another one. That's some old trees. Well, I'm probably about a half mile from camp, and I had to change my water bottle. It ran out, and so I decided to take a little break. It is hot. It's a little bit warm to be doing this. I probably should have left earlier in the morning, but other than that, it's been a really good hike. Haven't seen any wildlife though, so I guess got to get out here earlier to see that. Only passed one person on the trail, and that was 5 miles back, and it's been pretty quiet. But I'll sit around here for another maybe 10 minutes or so, and then head to camp and start setting up. Well, we made it to the campground. This is where you would launch your kayak if you have one. It's pretty decent. I haven't been down here in I guess it's been a couple months. Actually, I think it's been more than a couple months. As we camped in our hammocks. Look at that. That's pretty cool how that cypress tree is in the middle of the river. And there we go. Home for the night. Well, I'm all set up and got all my stuff inside, and I'm ready for sleep tonight. I guess now I'd still go ahead and start getting the fire going so I can get a good coal bed to cook the steaks. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today I'm out at Blackwater Creek Preserve, and I'm going to do the red and yellow loops. Come on along and enjoy the hike. Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful morning out. It's 70 degrees and a little bit of a breeze. Hell of a lot different than the last hike I went on. And I'm glad to be out in the woods. Took a 2-week break, and I'm looking forward to this hike. I haven't been on this one. I've seen several videos of it, and it's not far from the house. So we'll see what entails. Today we're going to do the red and the yellow loop. It's about 6.5, maybe 7 miles. There should be some rain coming this afternoon, but we should be out of here by then, hopefully. Man, it's beautiful out today. Okay, shortly into the trail, we come to this intersection. I'm gonna take a left. I think I'm gonna go clockwise. That'll start us off onto the yellow trail. Back in the day, this used to be an old cattle ranch, and Hillsborough County bought it and made a park out of it. I'd much rather see stuff like that happen than developers getting their hands on it and building houses. But it's beautiful out here. All right, we come to the intersection of the yellow loop and the red loop. I'm gonna make a left and do the yellow loop, and this will loop back around to the red. I'm at 2.3 miles in, and I'm at post number 6 on the map. I think that's about halfway through the yellow loop. It's got me heading north now. If you go right, that goes back the way we came, and it'll take you back to the parking lot. We're gonna go left and follow the yellow loop, or the red loop, around to the creek. Looks like we're gonna be out in the open here for a little bit. Looks like they had a recent burn out here. They do that quite a bit. It looks like the rain gauge didn't make it through the fire. Kind of weird to see a rain gauge out here in the middle of nowhere. Almost to the creek. And here we are. Blackwater Creek. Isn't it beautiful? That's awesome. Flowing pretty good too. If that isn't motivation to get you up early in the morning and out in the woods, I don't know what is. Got a nice bench here to sit and relax and watch the water. It's really nice. Well, hung out there for a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and complete the loop. That's a beautiful little creek though. Oh shit. That's a beautiful little creek. Just about busted my butt back there. Okay, made it back to the intersection for the spur trail going to the creek, which is marker 8. Gotta go ahead and make a left, and this will finish the loop back around to the parking lot. It's starting to get a little cloudy. It's blocking the sun, making it a little nice, and got that nice little breeze blowing too. Good hiking weather. I'll be so glad when the cool weather gets here. Looks like a nice place to camp. Wish you were allowed to out here. It's starting to get sprinkled on. Just about made it back without getting wet. Ah, it feels good. I don't think it's gonna be much. Welcome to Diesel's Outdoor Excursions. Today I'm back out in the Green Swamp on the east track this time. I'm set out to find the Stewart homestead, where a gruesome double murder happened back in the 1900s. Enjoy the hike. Good morning, everyone. Beautiful morning for a hike. It's a little after 7 o'clock and about the mid 60s. I'm not sure what the shape of this trail is going to be. It's starting to get pretty growed up here. Back out on a forest road. Not very long now, I see the turn blazes up ahead. Back in the woods. Back out on the road, and I'm coming up here on a bridge. I'm curious to see how much water is under it. Last time I went over this bridge was last year in May, and it was bone dry. It's low, but there's a lot more water in it than there was last time I hiked through here. If I can find a picture of it, this area right here where I had the camera was bone dry. You could walk right across it. A little short distance from that bridge, there's another one up ahead. No flowing water under this one. All right, about 2 3/4 mile into the trail and came to a intersection here. So we're doing the blue day loop. About stepped on this fella right there. Oh, mister, you're in the middle of the trail. Actually, he's beside the trail. I was going around this. I just about stepped on that fella. Good thing I was paying attention. Speaking of paying attention, all right, I came to another intersection. All right, I'm almost 5 miles in this hike, and I've come to an intersection. I'm going to stay on the weekend loop. You go this direction, which looks really growed up, that's the Florida Trail. And that continues on north to 471. I'm going to do this trail right here. I'm 6.3 miles into the hike and haven't got there yet. Most of the hike has been in terrain like this, pretty much basically growed up field. Bunch of pine trees and mixture of palm trees. Well, the trail went out onto a lime rock road for a short distance, and I'm back in the woods. But this trail here looks like it's just been mowed. Much better to hike on. It was getting pretty rough through some of those sections. Be nice if this is the way it will be for the rest of the hike. Cattle dipping vat for tick fever. It's built in 1929. All right, 7 miles in, and I have finally made my destination. We're at the Stewart Homestead. So the story goes, back in 1918, the Stewart family had invited their grandson and a friend over for dinner. Well, before that, Mr. Stewart had taken $1,500 out of the bank. He took all of his money out of the bank from a cattle sale because he didn't trust the banks. So he had $1,500 in that little cabin there. Well, the grandson found out about it, and when they were over there, they ended up spending the night. Well, during the night, they went over and killed Mr. Stewart while he was sleeping with an axe. And Mrs. Stewart woke up, went to go grab a shotgun, and they got her with the axe as well. They killed them both and took the money. The whole purpose, I guess, they wanted the money for, they needed a truck or whatever. Well, anyway, the money was never recovered. There's rumor that the grandson, dad, had the money, but there's so many stories about this. It's unreal, but it's pretty interesting. It's gruesome. Not, there's a lot of history back here in Green Swamp, but not all of it's good. It's hard to believe this building is still standing. It's been through a lot of hurricanes, all the elements. And you got a tree stump. I had read somewhere that they had built this shack over this and they used that tree stump as a table. I don't know how true that is, but this is their gravestones. I know there's some massive oaks around this property. There's another one over there. I'm gonna get good use out of this bench right now. It's at 7 miles without a break. I think I'm gonna take a break. And we have lunch. I don't know if any of you had any of these before, but they're pretty good. It certainly is beautiful out here, though. And I want to thank the Florida Trail Association for this bench. Very comfortable. Well, that was interesting. I decided I was going to continue to loop instead of going back. I think it's a shorter distance just doing the loop. I wasn't expecting this kind of mileage. I was estimating about 8 miles, but it's good. It's like it takes us back out on the road. Let's see the white blaze. That just crosses the road. Back into the woods. Oh yeah, very nice campsite. Got a fire ring, got a bench by the fire so you don't have to bring your chair. Plus you got a picnic table you can sit on and watch the fire. It's a cute little thing. Lots of nice oaks. I see plenty of places to hang a hammock. And that looks new. That is a very nice picnic table. Very nice. Thank you, Heidi. All right, I've sat around long enough. I better get up, knock out these next few miles. And this is a pretty nice campsite. I think I'll stay here sometime. But I passed a campsite on the way here that I like better. And I think I'm going to use it for a stealth camp video in the near future. All right, let's do this. I got 1.5 liters of water for 4 miles. So I gotta do a little rationing, but I should be okay. It's a little warm, but it's not that warm. And I'm feeling good right now, so onward.